Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's TGIS. Thank goodness it's Sherry. My corny little saying. Okay, let me just get this up and going. I hope y'all are having a good day. Welcome. I hope it's been a good week. Never mind. For me, it's been a busy week. And my apologies for any issues last week there with our lives. I'm really sorry for that. So let's jump right into it. I took the liberty of downloading some of the content we're going to be looking at because we finished off with the images of Chris Watson at the card and the people that had signed it at the Cervi site and whatnot. So we are now going to go into some of these other pictures of more text messages, and then there's a few things in here, so if you have time to hang around and you'd like to chat, that would be awesome. I've had a long day already. I've been going strong since 6 a.m. Hey Joe. Going, and just sitting down, my whole body is literally just throbbing from head to toe. So grab your drink-a-dank-dank, whatever you're having, tea, coffee, wine, water, whatever it is, and let's chill and chat. Let's see here. I want to enlarge this if I can. And what were these ones again? I know I opened them. Oh, right. The autopsy attendance sheet. Let me turn up my lighting here too for you guys. Sorry, it's so dark. Ay, ay, ay. Hi, Pam. How are ya? Welcome. So happy you could be here. What was this one now, too? If you're new to the channel and you've never said hello and you've never been in the chat, let us know where you're from in the world and let's chat. Let's hang out. So these are some messages from Shanann Watts here. I actually managed to get in like a quick little minute of Christmas shopping right before I came home straight after work here. Let's do it this way. Do you all have any big plans for holidays? Hi, Just Kathy from Michigan. I see there's a Lifetime movie coming out about this story. There absolutely is. We were actually talking about the who was going to be playing Nicole Kessinger and how that was going to work and all that. There were some people that were already saying that they would be angry no matter really who it was. And I kind of felt the need to remind the public that, just because an actress, is acting on a heinous character doesn't mean that is in any way relation to them. And kudos if they're able to pull it off, kind of thing, so I'm kind of anxious to see what it's going to be all about. Oh, Pamela, I am literally throbbing from head to toe, girl. Literally. This is messages between Shanann and Nicole Atkinson. Yeah, thank you. Well, it's finally kind of the end of the day here, and I'm planning on stretching and taking a hot shower. I have a glass of wine on the side here, and we're definitely going to try to relax. But I actually have an electric massager for my feet too. So nice little contraption that I forgot that I had when I put it away in storage. It does kind of shut on and off a little bit, so it's kind of annoying, but and that's probably the reason that I ended up putting it away. But I found it and went, ooh, this looks like it'd be good again. And I brought it out, plugged it in. It heats up and it turns and it's really nice. So I plan on pampering myself. You know, the other cool thing that I found tucked away was this really cool like head dryer for your, like when you want your hair to be kind of instant perm in a sense, you can kind of put it up into clips and then go underneath the hair dryer. I forgot that I had one of those. It's like a portable one. So cool. Like so cool. So totally plan on trying that, seeing how much bigger I can make my curls. Shanann and Nicole Atkinson continue to chat. Hey, Alabama Wildman. Hello, hello. Ouch. Oh. Oh. Seriously. And I do want to show you footage of the search at the Cervi 319 site. So if anybody perhaps hasn't seen that, we can view that together. I love how supportive Nicole Atkinson was for Shanann, you know, always there to help, always, you know, they were like best friends for real. Like, you know, the traveling together, chatting all the time, you know. And she was just really there for her friend. It's nice to see, you know. Okay, I'm going to delete some of these guys down here. Minu, no scratching the carpet. Not that he makes a habit of that, but I think he's trying to start running around. He's getting excited for some reason. So I can hear his nails clipping on the floor. It's probably more fun to run on the carpet anyways, right? Hi, Mike Lambier. Welcome. Where are you from? Hey, Jen. Hi, Pam. What are you doing? You're creating for me to check on you right now. Chill out. It's like you had catnip, but you haven't had any. What's going on? Oh, geez, my back. Oh. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Ontario, right on. Welcome. Hi, Dank Williams. Cheers. Hey, Susie. Aw, so happy to see you all here. Much love. I appreciate the online love in return with your support and coming and chilling and hanging out. I know, she really was a good friend, right, Pamela? It's really nice to see, you know? Most friendships kind of tend to fall apart. Like I had a best friend and that did not, you know, we were best friends all through teenage years, you know, well into our, you know, teens and young 20s and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah. I found out that she kind of backstabbed me by telling my son's father, you know, that I was this horrible person. And I was like, what? She said, what? And I mean, he had no reason to lie to me. He was just like, well, I didn't want to tell you at the time. It was like we were at a social, we were having fun. And I was like, are you for real? Like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So it kind of ruined the friendship. because although I might forgive, I'm going to move on. I'm not just going to like stick around and let that something like that happen again. If I hear like somebody thinks ill of me, that's fine, but like don't, we don't need to be fake about it and be, faux friends and all that, right? So it essentially ended the friendship is what I'm trying to say. So it is nice to see, Shanann and Nicole Atkinson friends for a long time and doing all kinds of business ventures and stuff together and kind of raising their families together and there to support each other. Really a nice thing to see. Leaf fan, right on. What are we talking about? You guys are on a roll, and I'm looking at what I'm going to click next on. Oh, she was definitely the reason, Mike, that Watts went down. I mean, she was all over, the fact that Shanann had already missed her doctor's appointment. Oh, and that she hadn't spoken to her in how long too, right? Like it was not normal that they hadn't text at least 2 words by like 8 a.m. So Nicole knew right away, like something's wrong, something's off. She just didn't know. I bet she didn't know it was going to be this horrible, right? But kudos to her for kind of lighting a fire under, because Chris would have just taken his sweet ass time all the way home, all day working. You know what I mean? He didn't give two craps about his family and what he'd done, right? And little did Nicole know that she was essentially calling up the authorities for a good reason. It wasn't just, oh, she went on a play date. Oh, she just, up and left with the girls without their car seats, without the vehicle, without her purse and her wallet, and without the medications. I mean, she just up and left. Like that made absolutely no sense. And the more that Chris talked and told his side of what he figured that what was going on, you could see on Nicole Atkinson's face, she was just like dying inside, like she knew something was wrong. And, she just, I'm sure at that point was thinking the worst and hoping for the best, right? But thank goodness that she was able to get them over there as fast as they were there. And then the officers grabbed the GPS coordinates and grabbed the drone, and they were already figuring stuff out, right? Hi Marlena, welcome. Hi Tracy. I hope I don't miss anybody. So yeah, Nicole Atkinson certainly was one heck of a friend to Shanann Watts. Oh my goodness. I definitely want to show you the footage of the search at the Cervi site, but we'll do that. There's this left for those that want to read the text messages. Yeah, her shoes left behind. She wore those flip-flops everywhere, right? So, for real. It's hard to believe that he didn't think through the fact that she's on social media and she markets herself and she speaks to people regularly. The fact that she was expecting, of course, she could, possibly have a doctor's appointment. It just seems like he really didn't think too much, through all of it. before reacting and doing what he did, which kind of gives reason to me. Like, I really think that he kind of just snapped at one point. You know what I mean? But I do think that he premeditated this by planning some of it. I think he thought about it for a long time. I think that he talked about it, and I think that, he almost kind of planned this, but I just don't think it was obvious. That when he was quiet, I think things were stirring. You know, he's definitely was being shady. It's too bad it was viewed as just quiet and not really interactive, right? Hi, Linda. What soon you will be talking about the current Sievers trial. Hopefully I said that name right. Oh yes, definitely following the Frazee case, and I'm elated that that man got life plus 156 years. I cannot wait to hear what the punishment's going to be for Crystal Lee Kinney. She faces 3 years, but it's, in all honesty, going to be the judge's decision as to whether or not she gets something more strict or whether or not there's more to the punishment, right? That's, anyways. But hi, Amy. How are you? I haven't seen you in forever. It's so nice to see you. Well, I think you were on actually on the last live too. I love that. Hi, Amy. We're all like, hey. That's awesome. But unbelievable that Patrick Frazee thought that. I actually thought, you guys, for a minute. I really did. For a minute, I thought, damn, this guy going to get away with this? Like, did he for real, like, honestly, I was elated when the inmate came forward to obviously not follow through with whatever, murdering plans he wanted to, conspire in order to do against, Crystal Lee Kinney and her family and all this stuff. I mean, unbelievable how it ended up turning out, because for a little minute there, I was thinking, is this guy going to get away with this? Like, because there's no body and because there's no evidence? Like, seriously? Like, I mean, we have Crystal Lee Kinney. Who knows about the evidence? She was there. She cleaned it up. Like, that's why I think she's just as guilty, damn it. Like, she had like 3 opportunities to try to stop this situation, and yet she just did nothing about it. And that really bugs me. And, as a mother herself, she didn't even think for a second what that was going to do for her child. And now her child's going to grow up without a mother, and like, just unreal. The family, the Barrett family, is without their daughter. It's always a sad thing to see a family dynamic smashed to oblivions because of some idiot that, planned to kill somebody. Like, it's just unbelievable. I will never be able to wrap my head around or understand why people do that to each other. Like, somebody mentioned, could it be because he thought he'd get the inheritance if she did die? Like, I honestly have a hard time believing that he would have thought that shallow into not realize that the inheritance is more than likely going to the child, not him. So I don't know. Okay, let's watch the Cervi 319 search here. I'm gonna get rid of some of this. Hang on. This one is not very long. It's just recording the bins that, of course, were being said to hold Bella and Cece, as many of you know. You got the discovery, but you got no videos. Well, it's in the discovery. I'll show you. Once this is over, I'll show you my Weld County discovery thing. Yes, hello, I love you too. Okay, so that's over. This is the Weld County files here. What? We're fine. Okay, so Mike, these would be the files that you would download, save them in your computer, and then some of them have videos, some of them don't. Some of them are reading, some of them are mixed. And you may have to have different apps in order to open them too. But I'm sure you probably already knew that. Okay. You got yours from someone else. Well, you can message Weld County yourself and get them direct from them. This one's only 10 seconds long. It's really nothing, I guess. That was the shell. No, I think that might have been his bathroom stop or something, actually. Okay. I did also start opening these. Yeah, the infamous sunflowers, right? So there again is Chris Watts's truck stopped for 2 hours and 36 minutes. He arrived August 13th, 2018 at 6:53 in the morning. I mean, yeah, in the morning. Man, I'm tired, you guys. I'm sorry. These are the other work vehicles. We've already looked at this stuff though, because I pointed out to you guys, like, what could he have been doing for 3 hours? Well, we know what he was doing, right? Yes, I love you, God. Supervise the husband putting up the outdoor Christmas decorations. That's awesome, Jen. Well, I thank you guys for joining. I'm not going to be staying on too long today. We're going to probably keep it short, but okay, we saw those. Back to Weld County. 21. What was this one? 21. Oh, so those symbolic to NK. You know, I saw a yellow flower one day when I was walking, and it made me think of NK, for crying out loud. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, seriously. I was going to do a little spoof video about it, actually. It's not Christmas yet, Jen. Yeah, but some of us are getting ready. You know. I wish there was just so much more useful information than what we got, you know? I feel like we really just didn't get the whole thing, and that really sucks. It's so goddamn hard to figure out how to, like, who's lying, how to decipher what the truthfully is here and what really happened and why and how, and geez, just so too many lies, you know? Oh, we certainly did not get all of it. I realized that when we were looking into the second discovery and we're looking at things that we had already seen from the first, and it was so frustrating as, you know, a person of the public who just wants the truth and wants full justice. It just really sucks to only see bits and pieces and stuff that really isn't, you know, wasn't super crucial to even release. Like, as much footage as they had of the search and the neighbors and stuff like that, they had so much duplicated, you know, because one body cam was giving one way and the other body cam was giving another angle, but it was the exact same conversation. It's really frustrating when you have laws in place to have, you know, the public Freedom Information Act, and you can't even get all the information. You know what I mean? It almost feels like what the heck good is the public, you know, Freedom of Information Act if we can't even get all of it? What do you guys think? I don't know. You tell me what you think about that, you know? I don't know. There's a lot of important things that I feel that were missed too. Like there was a lot of conversation as to what happened between Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts after the crime. There wasn't a whole lot of conversation about what happened during, you know. Just a lot of random, ridiculous things that were not really that important. Oh. I say love you too. Yes, we know.
Today is August 21st, 2018. This is Agent Kevin Kovac from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, placing a phone call to Nicole Kessinger, also known as Nikki, at 720-656.
I'm sure she's long since changed her phone number.
6:45 p.m.
Hello?
Hi, Nikki. It's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. I'm running a recorder, so you know.
Okay.
I just want you to introduce yourself again for the tape recorder. Just say your legal name for me, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Okay. It's Nicole Lee Kessinger.
And your birthday, Nicole?
July 3rd, 1988.
And you go by Nikki, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All righty. So you texted me this morning. We had a brief conversation regarding some new information that you remembered from just reflecting on what's been going on with this case. So
yeah.
You want to start with that? So did you write some things down?
I did. So
okay.
They're kind of out of order. They kind of just are as they came to my head.
Sure.
So we'll go over them in the order that I wrote them down.
That's fine.
So I was thinking about the whole, what is the name of the stuff she sold for LaBelle?
Thrive.
I'm sorry?
Thrive.
Thrive, that's right. I was like, it starts with a T and I'm trying to blank. So I started thinking about this whole Thrive thing because I remember that we spoke at the end of last week and you were asking what I thought of it, and I made it clear that I didn't understand it. And the reason I had a hard time understanding it was because I didn't understand how people who were living sedentary lifestyles and had poor diets were losing so much weight on this program, and Chris was never able to tell me what was in it. Like he not always, but when we first met, he was like, you should try this stuff, and I never wanted to. I was uncomfortable with it because I didn't know what it was. And I even looked on their website and I still didn't completely understand it. And so I just I stayed away from that. And not only that, I mean, he told me, the only things he pretty much told me is it gives you energy and it's like a weight loss supplement. And I'm not trying to lose any weight. Like, I don't need that. And I didn't feel like I needed the energy either. So he never pushed it again. And I never, like, he always wore the Thrive patches, and I never questioned it. It was like what he did. But one thing I do remember him mentioning to me when he first tried to introduce me to Thrive was that you needed one patch a day. And when he would hang out with me, he always wore two.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Do you remember where he wore them?
Yeah, so he would usually wear one on like his left bicep area, and then sometimes he would wear another one on the right side in the same spot, or he would wear it on his like lower back.
Okay.
But he always had two, and I remember thinking like, I thought you only needed one of these. Why are you using two? And I never questioned it, because for me, I mean, like, I never questioned him about it, because to me, I just felt like since I wasn't involved with that program and I didn't want to be involved, it wasn't really my position to question him.
Sure.
And now I know that there's also supplements that go with it. There's like a pill and like a morning shaker. There's like a lot of stuff that goes with it, but there's like a daily routine of like 3 or 4 items that you are supposed to take. Now, was he doubling up on those other items? I am not sure.
Was he following? Do you know if he was following the complete routine?
As far as I know, he was following it, and he had told me that is why he lost a bunch of weight. He said that the reason he lost so much weight was all because of Thrive. And then he said that at some point a few months ago, he had started getting stagnant with the weight loss. And so that is when he decided that he was going to start working out again. And that's when he decided he wanted to start eating healthy as well, because he was realizing that he'd like plateaued and he still wanted to continue with his fitness. But I think he was realizing like maybe a diet, like a healthy diet and exercise is what I need at this point. So that was the avenue that he was starting to go down, and he'd been going down by the time I met him. But he was still doing the Thrive on top of it.
Okay.
So the thing that caught my attention about this recently when I was thinking about it is the fact that I think maybe the reason he was doing the 2-a-days, and this is just speculation, is because it had like plateaued. So maybe he was doubling up because he thought it had plateaued. So the reason that this comes to my attention is because of his weight loss. So he lost 13 pounds in about 5 weeks. In fact, I can give you the dates. He lost 13 pounds from July 4th to August 11th is how much weight he lost. Because July 4th was the day that I went to his house and sat down with him and asked him, how much do you weigh? And he asked me, can you just like look at my macros and see how much protein people my size would usually eat and all that, and just asked me to like glance at it. So that's why I went over there.
So that's like, when you say his house, that's his house in Frederick that he shared with Shanann.
Yes, that's the one that I told you guys I went to on the 4th, and that was why I went there, was to sit down with him that morning of the 4th and just discuss his goals, you know. And again, I'm not a fitness trainer, so he already had an idea in mind. He was just asking me, like, can you just glance at this and tell me what you think, since you pay such close attention to these things. So anyways,
I'm going to ask you, I think I already asked you and we discussed this once, but July 4th was the first time you went to his house, and then I think you said like the following Monday or Sunday was the second and final time you'd been to his home?
I will have to, it was a Saturday, and I'll have to look it up. It was either hold on, I really just want to that's July. So the 4th, and then we can be, I think, and I will double check this, but I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact I was at his house on July 4th, and I think the second time I went to his house was Saturday the 14th. Okay,
and those are, if I remember right, you only had been there 2 times, right?
Yeah, like I didn't want to go back. After that second time that I was there, it's like, I don't want to be at this house. Like, if you want to hang out, come to my house. So the 14th was the last time I was there.
Okay.
But back to this, so the Thrive thing. So I was like kind of concerned that he was losing so much weight, but I also wasn't, because he was like kind of fine tuning his diet. But it was enough for me to look at it. Because I was like, well, I mean, it wasn't like a severe weight loss, but it was kind of fast. So I was like, okay, well, are you getting enough calories? What's going on? And I couldn't figure it out because I was looking at what he was eating, and it was like healthy proteins and vegetables, and he was eating a decent amount of food. And I'm just like, how is this man losing so much weight? And then I started thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, it's because he was like doubling up on all the Thrive stuff, and he was starting to eat really healthy. So that, I think, is.
So did you see a change in him personally during that time from July 4th, or pardon me, July 4th to August 11th when he lost that kind of weight?
What did you say? What was the question you were asking?
Did you see a lot of change in him? Like, not physical change, but was his personality different, or was it just the weight loss?
No, it was just the weight loss. Like, I didn't think he was any different. But this is the one thing that I wanted to point out to you guys, was that he was always this way. I just want to state that right now. Like, this was not something that started at any certain point. But from the first time that we started hanging out, he always had a ridiculous amount of energy. And it wasn't that he was like super high strung and bouncing off the walls. It was that he could stay up. He like didn't need to sleep. And he was always that way. Like, when we would hang out, oh my God, I would try to get him to go to bed at like 10 o'clock every night. I'm like, if you're going to stay here, you need to go to bed at like 10, because I have to get up and go to work in the morning, and so do you. And he would keep me up like every night. And we usually, I would say, I mean, it kind of fluctuated, but typically I would say that we went to bed somewhere, when he stayed the night at my house on those nights, somewhere between 11 o'clock and midnight every night. And it used to bug me because it was like, I was so tired.
What time did you wake?
I want to go to bed.
What time did you usually wake up?
It kind of depended on the day and what I had going on at work, but I would say in between 4:30 and 5 is like a pretty accurate assumption of when I'm supposed to get up for work.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, and then so what I would do is I would go to work all day, and then when I would get off work, I would sleep. I would go home and nap, and my naps varied in time. Sometimes it was a half an hour, sometimes it was like an hour and a half. It was like whatever my body needed. And then I would get up, and I would go to the gym, and then after I got back from the gym, he would come over my house, and it would be the same thing, where it was like, he would keep me up. And I will tell you, without those naps, there's no way I would have been able to keep up with him. No way. And another thing about that too, and he was always like that, always. And it used to, I could tell like his body wanted to sleep, but like his mind couldn't sleep. And the reason that I say that is because he sometimes I would see him, like he would keep me up. So I'd be like, all right, well, like, let's watch a movie, if you want to hang out. And so we'd be up, and I'd see him like doze off and then like wake right back up, and like doze off and wake right back up. Okay. And there was a few times that we were having a conversation, and he would be talking to me, Kevin, he would like fall asleep mid-sentence and wake up, like snap. Yeah, and he would like snap out of it like 5 or 10 seconds later and keep talking right where he left off.
That's weird.
Yeah, it always like blew my mind. I was like, this guy must really like me if he is like avoiding sleep to be with me. And it was like, I couldn't do it. Like, I napped probably almost every single day after I hung out with him.
Right. Okay. Honestly,
it was like he was on speed.
So you think the Thrive thing contributed to that, or at least his own drive for losing weight and getting in shape, and maybe his attraction to you drove him, because you're pretty physically fit and he was kind of motivated by that. I think we remember you saying that earlier, that you were trying to help him get in better shape.
Well, I mean, he was already in good physical shape, and he was already taking care of his health and his diet in the gym. I just think he was like, hey, since you're already in this live a healthy lifestyle, would you be willing to just give me some input? Maybe I can fine tune it.
But do you think that was some of the motivation for him to stay awake long hours and, use maybe multiple patches of Thrive to try to impress you, for lack of better terms?
No, I think it was the Thrive, and I think his body wanted to sleep. I think it really wanted to sleep. I think he legitimately was trying to lose weight, and I think that's what was keeping him up.
Cool.
Because at the end of the day, like, I wanted to sleep, but he just was, like, really restless and didn't seem like he wanted to. But he always seemed, like, really respectful of my wishes, so you would think that he would be on board with that. But it was almost like he, like, couldn't calm his brain, you know, and like I said, he wasn't acting high energy, he just like wouldn't sleep, and I almost think that's what it was. It was almost restless, where it's like, hey, I can't turn off at the end of the night, stay up with me, and he never said that, but that was kind of the impression that I got.
Okay.
And so, and again, the double Thrive patches, I mean, maybe, but I don't really think he was trying to impress me. I mean, he told me, like, I had plateaued on this stuff, so I think maybe he was like, well, what if I double dip?
Mm-hmm.
So,
right, so he's
I'm
trying to
not
do it
sure.
over. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that was a motivated thing for him. I think that was because he was already working on the Thrive thing, and like I said, in his fitness, he was doing all that prior to me being in his life.
Okay.
So and I don't know if he was double patching before I met him. He double patched the whole time I knew him. So I don't know if like that occurred once I came into his life, or if he had already started doing that once he plateaued. I never asked.
Okay. All right.
Just found that really interesting, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And that's the kind of things that I want when we talked prior, just to get you to recall things that didn't seem out of place then, but when you reflect back, may have seemed out of place now with what you know. So what's next?
I mean, it was scary to me. Like, it was scary that he lost that much weight on that stuff, but I guess a lot of people do, and I keep thinking about it. I'm like, it almost seems like it's a drug.
If you look at any diet, though, I mean, I'm not a fitness guy, but if you read about Atkins or any of these other diets, people lose excessive amounts of weights in short periods of time. So, yeah, but whatever. I think it's interesting that this Thrive played a part in it. And quite frankly, I am going to get one of these patches to try to figure out what it is. So we'll figure that out at some point. So, what's next on your list?
Let's see. Okay. So this is Saturday.
So
this
Saturday
is what I made a reference to. This is Saturday, the 11th of August.
Okay.
Was that the 11th?
Yep.
Okay. This is the night that we attempted to go to the Lazy Dog on 120th and Federal, and we walked in, and I looked at their menu. They tried to feed us, and I looked at their menu, and I was like, I'm not eating here.
Right.
And because, so we went to the other Lazy Dog, which is actually owned by somebody else, so they have a different menu. So we went to the Lazy Dog off of, I think it's 144th that I told you guys, and we sat down and we ate, and
it's on Highway 7, right?
What's up?
Is it on Highway 7?
I don't think so. It's on I-25 and 144th.
Okay.
I mean, I can look it up and
no, that's okay.
Screenshot it.
I think there's two of them, and I think there was some confusion. One of our guys went, and I just want to make sure he went to the right one. I don't know the Lazy Dog, but I'll ask him tomorrow. 144th is right by Highway 7.
Okay, well, I don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had never been to that one. So I think it's 144th. It might be 136th. I will look it up tonight, and I will screenshot you the address, and I will send it so that you guys, if you guys need to pull those videos, you can find it. But one thing that I noticed about this is that, so normally when we went out, I try to keep things pretty cheap just to be respectful. I never went to expensive places or anything, and sometimes I would pay for things, sometimes he would. But when he paid, he would always use these Anadarko gift cards, these little gray gift cards, and they were always $25 or $50, and they always came in denominational increments that made sense. And he told me that he got these from Anadarko as rewards for doing really good stuff at work. And Is that true? I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, I know that him and his wife had a lot of financial issues, so I don't know if maybe he's the one who actually wanted to spend all the money, and maybe he was cashing his paycheck in via gift card so that his wife couldn't track it. I don't know. I don't know. But I think it's something you guys will need to confirm with.
Were they actually in the name of Anadarko? Do you remember, or did he just tell you that they were gift cards?
No. I've seen them. They say Anadarko on them. They're like little dark silver, like credit cards, but they're like gift cards.
So you're just suspicious that potentially he was hiding money from his wife with these gift cards?
Honestly, no. I think Anadarko legitimately gave him these. The oil industry is pretty good about when our operators do things that are safe, or they do a really good job at something. They usually provide like gift cards or some sort of incentive for it.
So they bonus these guys out if they're doing a good job or being extra, like they have no safety violations and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. So it's like they're like safety rewards. So,
okay.
So do I think they were legitimate? Honestly, yes. I do. That's something you need to confirm with Anadarko because I wasn't one of their employees, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I did think to myself, like, if they do have money issues, maybe he was possibly concealing it. But the thing, it's not even the gift cards, I think, that are, like, the main focus on this right now. For me, the main focus that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention is he always paid with those, always. And
every time you guys, we talked about this prior, and let's just revisit it. You guys never really went out on a date per se, with the exception of this Saturday night on the 11th. Usually you guys spent time at your home versus going out, unless I'm mistaken on what you're saying.
You are. So we on most nights would hang out at my house, but we went out a few times. So I have dates for everything, and I can give you that once I'm done with this. The reason that this caught my attention was not because of the gift cards, it was the lack of the gift cards. So when we went out to dinner, he went to pay the check, and I noticed that instead of using one of the Anadarko gift cards, he had a baby blue credit card in his hand that he used to pay.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking to myself, like, why isn't he using any of those gift cards? I'm pretty sure he still has a balance on one of those, but I couldn't remember. And then I was like, maybe, because, at this point, he had made it clear to me that they were, like, filing for divorce. Like, it was, like, done. So I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't really care anymore, But then another part of me was like, but technically, they're still together, so why would he do that? And, like, I didn't ask because, like, he had made it sound like by that Saturday that they were so far removed from each other that I was like, it's plausible that now he's just not, like, has nothing to cover up, But then at the same time, I still feel like until your divorce is 100% completely final and you're out of that house, why would you do that?
Sure.
I mean, so again, I didn't. So
you just found it was a little bit suspicious that he used a credit card versus the gift card.
It was like he had nothing to hide,
right,
or nothing to lose. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to pay with this, and I don't care.
Okay. So, and that would certainly be, if it was a credit card, just thinking, would be something that maybe his wife would see at some point, and he would have to then try to have to explain that. So in your mind, he's like, oh, well, we're divorced, or I don't care anymore. She's going to find out that I have a girlfriend.
I don't really know what he was thinking. I mean, I can't think for that man. I mean, I can't even process half the shit he's done or the lies he's told at this point, so I don't know. I just think that was extremely peculiar because he had never done that before, and it didn't seem like a big deal to him.
All right. I get where you're going. So it kind of made you think that he didn't have anything to hide anymore.
No, not at all. And again, there was other parts of our relationship where it's like he talked to me on the phone pretty freely, like all the time. So for me, like it never really seemed like on the phone like he had to hide anything at all. And that's why, when he's telling me, yeah, we're getting separated, yeah, I'm sleeping in the basement, like it didn't even like occur to me like maybe this isn't happening, because it was like he was so liberal about his communication with me, even if they were in the same house together at the same time. And so for me, I was like, all right, well, maybe she's upstairs, he's downstairs, they're separated. It doesn't really matter if he makes a phone call. And so that he was always liberal with. But when it came to like paying for things, it was always the Anadarko gift cards. And again, like, I don't know if that's because he was hiding it from her, or if that was because he happened to have these gift cards, and why not spend those as opposed to like the money in your bank account? I mean, I don't know. I just noticed that one last time that we hung out, that he paid with a credit card, and I was confused because I was pretty sure that he still had a balance remaining on like one of those Anadarko cards, but I don't know. I don't know.
All right. What's next?
All right. And then let me just give you a date real quick.
Sure.
For the date when we were out in public. So I think I have these right. I hope I have these right. But on Sunday, I think it was Sunday the 5th, I think.
July 5th?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I'm glad that you're paying attention to this. Yeah. So I think July, I'm going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
So I went out of town for my birthday. I came home on July 3rd, which is the night of my birthday. On the 4th of July, I went over to his house in the morning and helped him with his like meal plan thing. And then after that, I went to the 4th of July Rockies game with one of my friends. And then on the 5th, I think it was the 5th, I don't remember, we went to go see a movie. And we went to the movie theater that is up by that lazy dog, I think, on 144th and I-25.
What movie did you see?
That new Jurassic Park movie. I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
And I remember we got there, and the first showing was sold out, I think. I don't remember. I think either we were going to go see another movie and it was sold out, or that one was sold out. So
you guys remember Chris Watts's version is
and so
that they were over at her house, and July 4th, Shanann called him while he was sleeping at her house. He ran outside.
And I don't know what corner of the building that would be on. If you guys need me to go up there and try to figure it out.
No, I'll figure it out. That's okay.
Yeah, and we like sat in these benches on this bench under this tree and like just bullshitted until the next showing of the movie. And then we went to the second showing of the movie, and it was really late. I want to say it was like 9-something
p.m.
Yeah, it was late, and I want to say I don't even want to say it's Sunday because I feel like it was like not Sunday. I don't think it was my birthday though. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have all my dates mixed up. If I have all my dates mixed up, just
that's okay. You're getting us close.
You'll find it. Okay. So then, let me go back to no. I was looking at August. That's why the date sounded weird. It was like it was either the 6th of July or the 7th of July. Okay. I was looking at the wrong one.
So Sunday the 6th. Pardon me.
No, it's I think because that's what I'm saying. I didn't think it was a Sunday, so it was either Friday the 6th.
Okay.
Or Saturday the 7th of July. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong calendar. So because I remember that was like our first like outing. That was like our first date, and it was the weekend right after my birthday week. Okay. So it had to been Yeah, either probably the 6th or the 7th. And
Okay.
then we didn't go anywhere again until the next weekend. And that weekend, on Saturday the 14th, that's the day that I went to his house, we went up to Boulder, and we went to the Shelby Mustang Museum. So this was July 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went up there, took a tour, and then after that, we left. And
do you remember what time that would have been?
That we left?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, what time do you think you got to the museum?
Oh, God, I don't even remember.
Morning, afternoon, night?
I think it was pretty, decent time in the morning. I bet you we got there at, 11 or so, because I remember it took us probably, an hour and a half to walk through it. I think it's a small museum. And then after that, we were going to go to lunch in Boulder, and then we decided not to. And then we went to his house, and I dropped him off, because I had picked him up to go to the museum. So I dropped him off at...
You're driving your 4Runner?
Yeah, we drove my 4Runner all the time. I told you I was only in his vehicle one time, and I think it was so he could go get gas or something. Everything, all of these adventures were all done in my truck.
Okay.
So then we went to his house, and we were over there for a little while, but then I was just like, I don't really want to be here, so I left. I left him there. He didn't go with me.
At his home?
Yeah, I left him there.
Okay.
And I left by myself. And then the weekend of the 21st, and this is how you'll know if my dates are lined up. I would base it off of this date and work your way backwards. But this weekend I went to Vandermeer Speedway with him, and I went and saw, I think it was called the Mopar Mile High National.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been called Thunder on the Mountain. I don't know. It was the drag races though, and it was Saturday the 21st.
Okay.
And we were there the majority of the day. I think we got there early afternoon, and we were there till it ended pretty much.
Was that late in the evening?
Yeah, those things go pretty late. It gets dark.
Okay. So you drove, did you pick him up again and then drive your truck or your 4Runner, right? It's a 4Runner? Drive your 4Runner?
I didn't pick him up. No, I didn't pick him up again because I never went back to his house. He came to my house and then we carpooled.
Okay. So he drove to your house, you guys carpooled down to the Mile High Nationals, and you stay the majority of the day. Is there anybody with you guys on any of these dates, or is it just you two?
It's just us.
Okay. Did you have meals anywhere after you left there? Did you stop at any bars or anything?
Okay, so that day, I'm glad you brought that up. Prior to going to Vandermeer, we went to, what is the name of that little town? It's not Evergreen. It's in between Lakewood and Morrison.
Morrison.
We went to Morrison. And there's a patio bar there. I do not know what it is called. It's on top of an Italian pizza place. I think it's literally called the Morrison Grill or Morrison Patio Bar, something real simple. And we went, it's just a rooftop bar.
And you went before the drag races?
Yeah, we went before the drag races.
Okay.
And we hung out there probably for a while. I think we were there for a little while. We ate there. So that's where we got
food. So you ate
lunch
there?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Tacos.
Okay.
This is a really good bar, by the way. Yeah, so we did that, and then we went to Vandermeer, and then I don't know what we did after Vandermeer. I think we just went to the house. I'm almost positive. I don't think we did anything after that because it was pretty late.
Okay.
then on the weekend of July 28th through the 29th, we went to the sand dunes. We went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Down in Alamosa?
Yes.
July 28th, 29th. Did you guys stay anywhere?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Where did you stay?
Oh, we camped.
Okay.
We camped. I don't remember the name of the campsite, but if you just let me go through probably my old phone Navel or go through just the internet and try to look up campsites, I can probably come up with the name for you.
Well, let me ask you this. There was some attachments that when I was looking at some of your phone stuff today, although very limited, there's a man with a backpack. He's got a beard. He does not look like Chris to me in your photos. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, is he a little heavier set?
Yeah, I'd say he's a little bit bigger.
Yes, that is my friend Jim. That is the one that I was with on the Monday and Tuesday of last week.
Okay, so there is some photographs. You mentioned the museum, the car museum. I think I remember seeing a couple photos of cars, and it didn't strike me as anything then. So there may be a little bit more on your phone than what I think. But there is definitely no photos of Chris, and I don't remember seeing any pictures of the sand dunes. So did you camp inside the national park there?
No, it was outside. I think we camped at Zapata Falls. I think that's the name of the campsite.
Yep, Zapata Falls.
Zapata Falls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's before you come to you turn off 160 and you're going towards the sand dunes, and then you turn off and kind of go up a 4-wheel drive road to Zapata Falls.
Yeah, that was really gnarly one with all the switchbacks and rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
There. And so we camped there.
Was it like an established campground, or was it just dry camping?
No, it was an established campground. There's a campground up there. You hang that left to go to the Zapata Falls Trail, and then you go right, and there's a big campground boat. Okay.
So that's where you guys were there.
Yep.
All right. Keep going.
And then we went to the sand dunes. Not the first day, so we got there fairly late on. How did we do that? How did we do? No, that's right. So I need to think about this. Saturday, we got there. We set up camp, and then after we set up camp, we went to the national park.
So you went and hiked the sand dunes?
Yeah, we tried. And I just remember it was super windy. Oh my God, the sand hurt so bad. It started raining. And we stayed even though the weather was bad, because there was nobody up there. And so we did that for most of the afternoon. And then we came back to the campsite. And I showed him how to light a fire because he's never done it before.
He'd never lit a fire?
No, he's never been camping before. He told me he'd never been camping before. And I was like, well, if you want to go, I'm trying to go to sand dunes. So that's why we went, because he said he'd never done it.
Okay.
So
did you guys visit any, there's not really very much stuff around there. There's no restaurants or anything in that area?
No. No, we did stop at I think it's called Oasis or something. It's on the way to the dunes. It's not in the park, but it's on that road that you take to get to the dunes. And it's almost like a little gas station. And we stopped there and we rented a sandboard to go sandboarding on. And I think we got more ice for the cooler, and we got firewood.
So it's like a gas station?
Kind of, but it's the one-stop shop that everybody goes to, because there's nothing else around there.
Right.
I'm almost positive it's called the Oasis, and they actually have their own campground back there too.
Okay, I know
on that road.
Mm-hmm. It's right before you get to the entrance to the park.
Yep. On the right-hand side when you're driving in. I'm glad that you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I worked in Southern Colorado for the last 5 years, and I spent a lot of time around Alamosa and in the San Luis Valley. So I know a lot about that area, unfortunately. So I know what you're talking about. So
that helps me.
So you got ice and firewood.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we got ice. I think we did just because I like to re-up on ice every
Who
time
paid
I go
for
camping.
it?
He did.
Okay. Did you think you used the debit or the gift card again?
Probably, because that was the plan in the first place. He was just like, well, hey, I've got these gift cards. If you want to use them, you don't even have to spend any money, and we can just use these. And I was like, well, that's great. So I remember for the trip, I filled up my gas tank, and I paid for gas, and I bought a little bit of groceries for the cooler. And then he took care of, like, the campsite and the board and the firewood and all of that.
Okay.
Like, I didn't actually go into that Oasis place, I don't think. I'm almost positive I didn't go in there. He did. I got in line for the board. I remember that. But their like, little board rental shop is, like, outside of the building.
Okay.
So he went inside because he went and got firewood. And then we went to the dunes.
I'm just looking at your dates, so you know you're right. The Bandimere Speedway, the Mile High Nationals was July 21st.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yep.
Get online and see if that matches.
Yep. It does.
Okay, so
we're good.
all those other dates should be good. The only one that I'm not 100% sure about is the movie. It was that weekend, movie, the 6th and the 7th. It was that weekend. I just don't remember what day of the weekend. I don't think it was a Sunday, though. I really think it was a Friday or Saturday. Like, I'm almost positive I didn't have to work in the morning.
All right. So what's after the Great Sand Dunes?
Okay, so we went to the dunes, and then we went and returned the board, and then we went back to the campsite, and we lit a fire, and we ate, and we just hung out by the fire for a few hours and just visited, and then it started raining really hard. So we put everything in the tent and put out the fire, and we went in the tent, and I remember he was, like, wide awake, and I was so tired, like, oh my God, I wanted to sleep so bad, and he just, like, would not sleep, and it was kind of bugging me. Like, I would like almost like wake up and like half subconsciously like have a conversation with him for a sec, and then like doze back off. And I just remember being so tired, and he was up probably for a while.
Okay. And then so you guys come back to the Denver metro area on Sunday?
Kind of. Yeah, but we went, one of my friends wanted us to go to the Renaissance Festival, and she didn't know who I was with, but she was just like, at the Renaissance Festival in Colorado Springs, and she was like, oh, you should stop by, and I made up an excuse to not go over there. I just told her, I was like, yeah, I don't really know, and I, like, kind of got out of it because I didn't want her to meet him.
I got it. What friend was that?
Charlotte.
Okay. So did Charlotte ever meet Chris?
No, none of my friends ever met him.
Okay.
Except for Jim.
And then on the way back up, we stopped in Colorado Springs to eat, and we stopped at a restaurant called BJ's.
On Nevada and I-25?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I just remember...
Right by the University of Colorado, there's a bunch of buildings, and it's a big strip center. There's like a Costco.
Oh, wait, I think I remember the Costco. Because don't you kind of have to, like from the highway, you can, like, see, or on the highway with that main road, you can, like, see the Costco, and then you have to kind of, like, turn in and around into that shopping center. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. BJ's, it's more like a brew house, I guess, kind of.
Yes, and it's like really nice. That place, it's just like it's like a nice restaurant. I mean, not like nice, but it's just like it's a decent place.
So that would have been.
It's a big place. That's what I was looking for. It's a big restaurant.
Sunday, July 29th.
That what
would it have been Sunday, July 29th?
Yeah, it was Sunday, July 29th. And if you want in the restaurant, so picture walking in, and the front doors are behind you. We were sat to the right on the like first level, like there's like a few different levels. So we were sat on the right side, and then in the right side we were on the like left portion of the section on the right side. Like there's these little like single seater booths that are really small.
Okay.
So almost like in the center of the restaurant, almost, but just like kind of on the right section of the main floor.
Okay.
Okay. So
Did he again pay with a gift card at that time?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then we went home.
Okay. Did you see him the following weekend?
No, because he was out of town.
Okay. Do you know where he went?
Yeah, he went to North Carolina.
Do you remember the dates?
No, I think, I want to say that he left on the 31st of July. I'm almost positive, because we hung out the weekend prior at the sand dunes, and then he went to work on Monday, the 30th. I remember that. And then I think he left on Tuesday, the 31st of July. I think. And I don't remember when he got home.
Okay. Next time you guys go out?
Was that Saturday. The 11th.
And you guys.
And that was.
The lazy.
Yeah, the story. Yeah.
Okay. So we got that all down. What's next on your list?
Sorry, I forgot about all that stuff. And I didn't.
That's all right. So we ran through something that the first time we talked, you were really tired. The second time you were overly stressed, and you had thought of some very important stuff that you wanted to talk about. So it's fine. And I don't mind talking to you as many times as I have to talk to you to get everything down that could at some point be very important. It's fine.
Understood.
So just don't worry about that. My job is to talk to you and make sure that this stuff is, placed in a report so it's there forever. So it's fine. Again, I just keep telling you every time. You when you remember things, just call me and we'll get it down. All right?
Okay, yeah, and I hope you guys pull cameras and all that, because I'm trying to help you. I'm really honestly disappointed that you guys don't have all my text messages, or don't think that you do. It makes me sad. I want you guys to have them. You need them, and it's frustrating to me. But it's I'll just tell you everything I know, and we'll go from there.
That's right.
Hold on. Hold on, what else? Oh, okay. So now let's go to this last week.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. So Monday, I think probably the most important conversation that I had with him after all of that took place was that first phone conversation on Monday night, the later one. Remember I told you were telling me there's two big ones?
Right.
And the first one was the one where he mentioned the sheets, the smelly sheets with his kids, and that was also the one where he was telling me he was going to go get his wife's wedding ring appraised. That same conversation, I don't remember exactly how he phrased this. I don't know what led to this, but he told me something about he mentioned that he had told, I don't know what he said. He said something about the separation and how she was okay with the fact that he wanted a separation, or that something like that. And I remember thinking to myself, wait a minute, what? Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. Here's the deal: is he had been telling me the whole time that I was spending time with with him that he was getting separated, and he kept saying that he was the one who initially initiated the separation, and then that it was more of a mutual thing. Like, he said that he was the one who had initially brought it up, like, before we had met, and then, like, she was on board with it, where she was just like, I'm not happy either, let's do this. And then I remember telling you guys that when he was going to go to North Carolina, I kind of, like, backed away from the situation, and I was like, hey, I think you should try to fix things with her, because you have a really beautiful life with her, and I think you should try to fix stuff. And he kept telling me, like, I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just like, please try, like, just please try. Like, I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and I was willing to just leave his life. I was like, if you work things out with your life, I'm gone. And, like, and that's fine, and he'd always be like, well, what about us? And I'd be like, don't worry about us, like, try to fix stuff with her. And he said, okay, I will. And then when he went to North Carolina, he told me that he sat down and had a conversation with her, and that he told her that he wanted to fix it. That is what he said to me. He told her that he wanted to fix it, and she said no, that she still wanted the separation, and that she was ready to file for divorce. So I was under the impression when he got home from North Carolina that the divorce was filed. That was what I was under the impression. And so then on Monday, when we were on that one phone call where he was just saying all sorts of weird stuff, he, like, again, like, I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was something along the lines of, like, she was okay with the fact that I wanted the separation. Right. And then I remember asking him, I was like, wait a minute, when you were in North Carolina, you told me that you tried to fix it with her, and she was the one who said that she didn't want to fix it. Okay. And he's like, no, and then he goes, no, I just told her that I still wanted, to continue with the separation. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, he lied to me, God, he fucking lied to me. He lied so much. It's okay.
So that just struck you as another lie?
Yeah, so that one I don't, and then now I'm seeing the news where he's telling everybody that he separated from her that he said he told her he wanted a separation on the Monday that she went missing, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, he told me that he had already had that conversation with her before I was even in his life. Well,
and so, not to cause you any more stress, but so when you're talking to him on Monday, this is Monday, right? This isn't Sunday. This is Monday.
No, this is Monday.
So this is after the event. This is after the murders.
Yes.
He is telling you that she mentioned that she was okay with the separation, although now that that wasn't accurate. That was something different than he had previously told you, and certainly she couldn't have been really saying anything, unfortunately. So, I mean, he's making up stories after his wife is deceased. Jim, is that a fair statement? Is that I'm kind of trying to follow where you're going.
I don't honestly. It just struck me as odd because I don't know if he was talking about the conversation they had that day or if he was talking about North Carolina. But either way,
it just struck you as
weird. It struck me weird because he said that he was the one that was like pushing for it now, and I was just thinking in the back of my head, like he made it sound like when I first got into his life that he was the one who had brought up the separation, but that she was like super gung-ho about it. Like he made it sound like she was all on board with it. And then when they were in North Carolina, he's the one who said that he tried to fix it and she didn't want anything to do with it. So it was weird to me when he was saying that he was the one that initiated the separation, because I'm like, wait a minute, like, and I think it was weird to me because I think he was referring to either whatever happened on Monday morning or he was referring to whatever happened in North Carolina. And I was just really confused because I was like, well, at that point, I thought she was the one pushing you away, like not you pushing her.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So I don't, it's just a lie. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it has any significance. It was just a lie that I caught him. And I think everything he told me was a lie, but it was like a lie on top of, it's a lie that contradicted the previous lies that he had told me.
I understand. What's next on your
So,
list?
let's see. Okay, so then in that same exact conversation, two more things happened.
Okay.
One, I was asking him about his daughter's EpiPen because I know that Cece has that tree nut allergy.
Okay.
And I was like, again, like, I don't remember like word for word, but it was something along the lines of like, she didn't take your daughter's EpiPen, and he was like, no, and I was like, well, aren't you a little worried? Because I was like trying to do my own reconnaissance, and I was like, aren't you worried about that? And he's like, well, we have like a stash of them in the basement or something like that. And he's like, she probably just took one of those. And I just thought it was weird because several weeks earlier he had told me how expensive EpiPens were. So I'm like, if they're not expensive, how do you have a stash? You don't have a stash. Nobody can afford a stash of EpiPens.
Right, they're very expensive.
Yeah, so I almost was like...
Today is August 21st, 2018. This is Agent Kevin Koback from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, placing a phone call to Nicole.
Okay, as we know, that entire conversation got cut off. We do not know what else was said.
Today is August 21st.
And it ends, I believe,
in June.
Like it ends half an hour earlier than it should. So the recording says on the discovery file that it's an hour and 31 minutes and 8 seconds, but we only get to hear 57 minutes out of that interview before it cuts off. And I wonder what else was said. I wonder if she incriminated herself at all. I wonder if there was any more information, and I wonder why it was cut off. Excuse me. But we've had that discussion already before as well. Quite odd. It seems, that it was done purposefully, and there's no way to fix that right now unless you're some sort of a tech whiz, which, hey, if anybody out there is and they know how to fix that, if you have a copy of it, which I do clearly, I would love to hear from you, and we can try to hear the last 30 minutes of whatever was said on this phone call. Because as far as the discovery goes from the first and the second, there is no more call that we can hear after roughly 1 hour. So if there's any tech whizzes that know how to figure that one out, I have a copy of it. I'd love to work together and figure out if we can hear the last 30 some odd minutes out of that conversation. Excuse me, pardon me. Okay, folks, well, it's been awesome hanging out. If you've enjoyed chilling together and chatting, please hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. We have a lot of interactive conversations here. I cover a wide range of cases, missing people, natural disasters, survivors, all kinds of true stories. So if that's something that interests you, I would sure love to have you all join in regularly. We will be back Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that will be to hang out face-to-face and chitty-chat. So grab your tea or your coffee or in your comfy clothes, and let's curl up and chitty-chat. And then we're going to be back here next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time again for Wicked Watts, and we'll continue digging through the Weld County case files like no other. Vincina says NK should have been interviewed by a 6-year-old woman wearing a bun. Yeah, it would have been nice to have gotten a polygraph. It would have been nice to hear where she was on Sunday night, Monday morning. It would have been nice to hear where she was during her Monday work day, where she didn't show up until later on in the day. And it just would have been nice to see her GPS coordinates as to where she was with her phone. So I love you all, and I thank you for watching True Stories with me, Sherry Wiens. Much love to all of my regulars, and much love to all the new people. It's the more the merrier. So share the love and share the links, and let's invite more people to come and join us and have some fun chats together. I look forward to hanging out again on Wednesday, folks, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of the week, a great rest of the evening. And we'll see you again soon for another true story with me, Sherry Wiens. It's TGIS. Thank goodness it's Sherry. My corny little saying. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye for now.